Good morning, students, and welcome to week 5 of University Experience. So this week we'll be reading a couple of chapters in the textbook, reviewing the online catalog, a certain section of the online catalog, and watching a couple of videos. There's a lot of good content covered in all of these items, and so let's go ahead and get started. We're going into week 5 here, and you can see two textbook chapters, Chapter 9 and Chapter 5, and then in the online catalog, what is a liberal arts education? I've done my best to find that for you. I'll show you what I've found. And then some international mission stuff from Rory's guide. And that ties into one of the videos you'll be watching as well. So let's go into classroom activities. Now, first of all, Chapter 9, Improving Your Performance on Exams and Tests. So you remember last week I said that this textbook it'll have several chapters that will contain important tools to you to add for your student toolbox, your student success toolbox. And this is one of those chapters. What this chapter does is it describes many of the different types of tests and test questions that you will encounter in your college level classes, and tips on preparing yourself for those. So there's very valuable information in the first part of this chapter. Now the second part of this chapter spends a lot of time on overcoming test anxiety. And from my history teaching this class, that is always a very important topic to a lot of you. So this textbook, or this chapter, has a lot of very good information in preparing for exams and overcoming test anxiety. So please give it a very thorough read and make use of the information you find. Next is Chapter 5, and this is the critical thinking chapter, and this is an outstanding chapter because it helps to shine a light on how we think about things, and some of the very common logical or thinking errors that the vast majority of us engage in without even really understanding that we're doing it. So this is another very important chapter, and this is the chapter around which I will build this week's participation discussion forum. So you'll need to read this chapter very thoroughly as well and take solid notes, because I'll be asking you to do some things with the stuff that you learn in this chapter. Okay, next is the section on what is a liberal arts education in the online catalog. So I've pulled the online catalog up here. There's a link to that website. And my best guess is that, sorry, video hiccup there. My best guess is that we'll find the information in this general information section of this online catalog. So I got here by clicking, back up here in Classroom Activities, the link to the MSSU online catalog that opens up this page, but actually it lands. Let me start over here. Click this link again. Okay, it lands you here at University Catalogs, and then clicking on the current catalog, it brings us to the 2017-2018 catalog, and then clicking General Information opens up this General Information page. So this is the page you'll want to review for this week, and I would read all the way through our mission with our values, and this section on international education, because that ties into the study abroad video that you'll be watching, and this student's guide to a baccalaureate degree, the general education curriculum, the goals of the general education curriculum, and let's see, the special features of Missouri Southern. And you can stop there. Okay, so read up until the assessment of outcomes, and I think you'll have a good idea of a liberal arts education here at Missouri Southern. And this information will be covered on the final exam, so don't skip it. But there will be a review, so don't worry about that. But don't skip it now. All right, so back to the class. So now let's go into the Blackboard folder for week 5. And here you have it. There is a wellness video where our Beimdick Recreation Center director walks you through and gives you a nice tour of the recreation center. So if you're here on campus, you'll want to watch this. He also discusses gives a little bit more information about the intramurals here on campus. And then the study abroad video, which is Judy Stiles and Chad Stebbins, our international studies director. This is an hour-long video, and you'll need to watch it because, first of all, because it has a lot of good information about the study abroad program, which is a huge part of our mission and a huge and outstanding value for our students. So many students take advantage of this opportunity to go abroad for the first time in their lives at a pretty affordable cost. So it's a very, very important program here at Missouri Southern, so you want to give this video a watch. There is a quiz over Chapter 9, so that is the Preparing for Tests chapter, and the second quiz is Quiz 4, and that is covering the Study Abroad video. Okay? So that ought to be enough to get you started. I will get on to grading last week's activities, and I will post a feedback video for you tomorrow morning. So I think that's it, everyone. I think that's enough to get you started for this week, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Oh, and stay tuned for instructions on this week's participation discussion board, which will focus on critical thinking, Chapter 5. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a good week. Talk to you soon.